down to 2. Yeah, really unideal.
Still with 2 players here in those nades go forwards. First knock over to Marth, flushed, taken on for the rematch though. Will go for 1 and 1 again. They lose Marth, but blank. They do stay alive as 3. They win. They get rid of Team Flash on that north side. A decent showing though from Team Flash. I don't think that you can say that that was a bad game from them. They held that compound on the northeast side. They got 8 points out of this match. It's much better.
Yeah, I think it's nerves. I genuinely think it's nerves right now for the Flash. That's where they're struggling. But getting 80 limbs there, that's probably bearing a lot of confidence for them, in my opinion. So they'll probably play better going in towards our next couple of matches, but we're on a whole different map. So maybe back to square one. We'll wait and see, though. Hopefully that's not the case. Thunder Talk staying alive towards the pier, I think is probably one of the more surprising things of the game. Interesting rotates from this squad are not to be underestimated.
I hope they get late into this game so we get the rotation graphic that highlights what they did this match.
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool.
That'd be very interesting. Might not though. They're going to get picked off like that. DRX taking shots out towards AJ. Yeah, not going to be getting away with that. So it is just Sighting and King. I think Sighting's under pressure from Regnan Kaya, so that is a difficult move north. I don't think they're getting through this one. Bit of a blockade in the way. Kara coming up against their own blockade. It's DXavier in some buildings. They are very used to this today. They've been practiced. Old hands, but Kara seemingly finding that opener. Marso backing off the wall very, very quickly, though. I bet he wish he hadn't. I bet he wish he'd stayed tucked on in.
That's a parachute nade for you right there.
Running on out. Oh, and there's R8 chiming in as well. Lewis goes down to that off angle. DXavier not really too phased at all by Kara's runner.
Not at all. Lovely nade off the back of the stair window as well. Bounced out towards Marso. Immediately took him down.
Oh.
CEO will nade Marso out. So, no points for you, Parachute.
That's one way to do it. That is one way to do it. I think this will be the last one. Looking for the cook, and it's not on target. Mori spots him. CEO goes down. Nice lineup. Brilliant on-target spray there.
Yeah, that's a very impressive spray coming through from Mori. Basically, no kick on it as well. Well done. Well done.
Now Disposer moving forwards, and he's down. It's Regnan Kaya to pick up the point. They've been on this east point of Perry Pier for a while after some...
Perry Pier?
Yeah, they picked a pack of pickled peppers too. But they do manage. Okay.
Wow.
We'll ignore that because Ziol's just landed a double. Oh, he's the last player to go, but he's still going to put up a hell of a fight. Does he have more in the tank, though? QXC now in on the ground floor. Ziol meeting downstairs, looking for the shots, hopping around the door frame. Doesn't quite connect. And QXC looking to try and wait for his team, but does he have the time? E-Arena are going to bear down upon this in the meantime. The reses can come through, but Ziol wants to try and make the most of it. Now you're too late with that nade. Ziol does fall. An APG may be denied even the points on this one. It's another Gauntlet APG game.
Good stuff there from DRX. And again, DRX is a strong squad. Initial fight over towards APG was great. It was a little bit split for my liking, personally, over towards APG. I think they needed to give some ground a little bit quicker there, because DRX basically just flew in from the western side, picked up first knock, and that was it. Thunder Talk get King and Sighting into the mix here. Regnan Kaya still going strong on this east side, but it's their cross, right? It's their entry point to the circle that is a little bit hard to work with.
Oh, get caught in the cross, losing one. DRX now up to 5 elims on the southwest side. Regnan Kaya moving in from that east point, going to have to condense a little bit more. I mean, it is all about R8 transitioning. It's all about DXavier transitioning down south. Who's going to be in the lead when it comes down to it, right? Because there's a lot of this circle that is just outside Ferry Pier.
For Regnan Kaya, they make a good play here, though. They get up to the next edge, but if I'm Regnan Kaya, I have no idea Thunder Talk's here, by the way. I have no idea.
I don't think they do. I think you're completely right about that. R8 do go down and they try to make it up to the roadside. And They just aren't going to find it. Yeah, they have absolutely no idea. They have absolutely no idea. For Regnum Kaya, there is no way that they could know.
So
this is
sad.
totally reasonable to not be aware of this spot. As soon as
the jump.
Okay, as soon as the pit, wait, Zedwolf spots it. Okay, they know. He goes down, but they have got the info now. They know that there's threats in the sidelines, and this should be a bowl. Just pour those bullets on down, but the nade is there. The answer. King goes, sighting now, steps up, goes for Loxy. Silas and Wild now need to hold their nerve. No third parties yet. DXavior have moved in the meantime, but I don't think they're looking at a third party. Not for the time being. They had a knock outside. Sighting goes low to another nade. Regnum Kaya now with 2 players. Will they go down to the wildest off angle we've ever seen here? Sighting looks for the push. The res is starting to come on through. He steps in. The smoke has blue. Silas with the challenge, and he holds his nerve. Regnum Kaya need to put themselves back together because they are cracking.
That's a gorgeous smoke from Silas. But more than that, Zedwolf. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Oh, what a guy.
Who checks that? Who checks that other than Zedwolf? Oh my God. Like I said, they had no idea. They had no reason to have any idea. But the fact he checks that really shows that he is playing at a PMGC level. Anywhere there could be a player, I'm checking it regardless of whether it seems so silly or it seems so insane, which it absolutely is to check that angle, but he does it anyway. So very, very well done. Yes, he gets knocked off the back of it, but the information he provides is life-saving.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. For Regnum to be able to check that now up to 3 elims, adding those 2 to their tally. DXavior not quite able to push all the way across is brilliant for them. They can flex out to that east side, start to establish lines up towards the north. They're going to need in this next zone. We're into stage 8. You thought it might close down a little bit earlier, Blank. I think you might be wrong, given the Ferry Pier situation right now. Ulf very much on the ropes. The nades still finding their way into the ground floor of the Wizard Tower, but not quite getting the full job done. They're going to have to do the rest. Maybe a little bit more up close and personal. Clash over to Scarface. It's found, it's traded. DXavior, DRX rather. Lose 1, lose 2 maybe.
Yep, DRX getting up off this coast. Hard. Very, very difficult. Eventually, it was going to have to stop. Great 1-2 punch there coming through from Ketch. Instantly on target.
What a lovely little step up there from Ketch. Last player to survive. Tower defense right now. And to be honest, if one of these 2 teams on the east side doesn't go down, Ketch has a fairly decent crack of getting in towards second place here.
Yeah, it's a real question of how many balloons he can pop before he does go down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very difficult to play the center of this circle, John. Regnum Kaya, though, I think their biggest task at the moment is DXavior. How much utility they have remaining, because they had to waste a lot over towards Thundertalk, which is quite frustrating for them. 2 players in a vehicle that is smoking. This is a dangerous maneuver, but getting over towards the Wizard Tower, okay.
The arena might try and challenge it. DXavior, remember, they still have angles. That smoke to Zedwolf's right-hand side right now is so important. It's on the clock, though. Evades the damage from the nade coming on in. And actually, DXavior take a knock from Turney K. Arena helping out this approach coming through from Regnum Kaya. DXavior now with a little bit of trouble. Wild spraying pretty wildly, but does connect a shot or 2. Ketch is still there on the ground floor as a nade finds its way on through. Everybody now looking to try keep the territory they've earned, because this zone is going dead center. Ketch now on the ground floor, looking to just try and last this one out. Silas not connected with an 8. Zedwolf is, though, with a spray over towards DXavior, and they hop out. But immediately it's Ketch. No. Oh, Ketch, no! You can't do it to him, not like that. Zedwolf falls too, and a nightmare lineup. Ketch with the catch out.
The 2 turkeys take themselves out of action. Oh, it's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. Natey takes some nasty nade to the back of the head, but E-Arena looks to keep pushing right now, but it's looking too little too late as DXavior, they step it up once again. The heat is in the arena for the Spiders.
Hey, they didn't get the circle fully blessing them this time, but they are able to pull through. A second chicken dinner for DXavior today. A great result for them. Real tough times for Regnum Kaya, though, during that match. Thundertalk and Ketch, both proving to be a little bit too much. The full force they can handle. Those sneaky little solos, those duos, a little bit too hard of a hurdle.
Yeah, this Vietnamese team has been in a lot of very, very big tournaments, and they are great at controlling area. They always have been, always will be, but it feels like they're really thriving under the pressure here at PMGC. I think it's always great starting on that chicken dinner because it gives you a huge amount of momentum to just keep going. And look at how happy these guys are just about that win. Fantastic.
Brilliant, as they should be. A nicely controlled game there coming through from DX Xavier. For Regnum Karya, I mean, they still got decently into that match. I think it was fairly low on the elims though, Blank. I don't think they were able to get too many. Not great from them. But DX Xavier, very happy to finally prove that they can go all the way when they don't get the blessing.
And here we go, the second chicken dinner for DX Xavier, man. These guys have just been so dang consistent, Max.
Well, the Dingoes, they're looking great here. Second chicken dinner. They get one on Rondo. They do it here on Arango on the last one. Very happy about it. But you know what, Seven? I feel like looking at these games, we look at the late game, we're like, how the hell is DX Xavier like one of the strongest positions? They do it every time.
I mean, the rotation from this squad has been so wonderful. Something that has been impressive for DX is the way that they are able to defend compounds whenever they actually get there. And this is something that you and I were kind of pulling our hairs at some point, Max, because what happened between DX and Kara?
Not good things. Unfortunately, I have to be brutally. I love the play initially from Kara, which is you smoke out all of the windows of DX Xavier, which makes it easier for you to push up, but they send it and then they don't go in the building, Seven? Why?
One thing that we got to call out for Kara, though, that we actually didn't notice is they waited a little bit longer because they knew that DX was going to be sending out those nades.
True.
First nades come through, and then they just don't fully send it. Kara, you got to make sure you end up sending it inside the building. You can't put yourself there in defense for the position to just get naded out.
Yeah, exactly. I think DX Xavier were like, you're going there? Like, yes, weird position. Okay, 2 nades, bonk, squad wipe, easy. So, like, Kara, no matter what your game plan is, fully commit to it. I feel like you crash into buildings. You know what? Maybe this is a Kara win, but they fumble it.
Yeah, and if they would have made that push, right, it would have been a 4 versus 3 situation, right? But that little lack of commitment really cost them there, right? But you know what? It's so crazy to just watch some of these individual plays as well, right?
Yes.
We got to talk about Catch 7.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to end up seeing it on the highlights. This man was able, I got to go back and see how many actual eliminations he was able to secure for his squad. Because not only was he able to eliminate some players there from DRX when DRX was having to go through everything, which we'll get a chance to talk about it in a minute, but I think it was maybe 2 more players from Regnum Karya whenever they were just jumping out of the building. He's like, oh, Silas, hi there. Thank you for the elimination point.
The 5-man Turkish team, like, it's kind of sus, this situation in this Harry Potter tower, and he does get himself the final word at the end. He does get out just slightly before Regnum Karya, so he doesn't get that extra placement point. But you know what? Playing silent in Harry Potter tower always works out great in advantage of these teams. Though, the arena. Oh, there it is.
That's what it was.
Yeah. That was... Don't go on the walls on these little compounds because, again, they're so nadeable. Just get in the building. At least you're safe from those nades.
And another performance that we got to point out is QXCZC. This man has also been a breakthrough performance, at least in my eyes, for the whole of the RX. Usually we're just talking about, okay, QB. All right, QB is going to clutch up. Yeah, guess what? Now it's another player that's able to get them points as well, and there you go. That's what I was able to talk about earlier in regards to Cage, just securing more eliminations for his squad, securing even more points. Whoa. And for DX Xavier, I mean, well played, great timing for them. And right here, perfectly, we'll get a chance to see it, Max, how quickly able to rotate there and make sure that they found a good spot.
Yeah, look at phase 2. I want you all to pay attention. Pachinki, DX Xavier, drop in there since like 1996, it feels like. Circle 2 pops very soon. Look at the speed of their rotation. Right in there. And they stick it until pretty much Circle 9, right? They're just holding down that position. Circle short is given to them, but you know that defense against Kara is super well done. So DX Xavier, those early rotates are so impactful for the entirety of their game.
And another one we got to talk about, Regnum Karya. I mean, at one point, it seemed like they were going to get 2 other players eliminated because it was, what, 2 players? Was it Hot Jukes from Thunder Talk just surprising them?
Yeah. It's crazy. It was crazy. And what was also wild was seeing so many teams go out early in the top. But let's take a look at the match rankings. DX Xavier, another 17 points.
They love placement points. They love the placement points, DX Xavier. But you know what? I'm going to talk about another team that loves placement points. That's the arena. No, I'm actually really happy with the way they entered into the circle. They were a team that was involved in very pair, but on the northern side, meaning you can third party, but because you're not in the deep center of the city itself, you're not fully directly involved, and you can just take a few shots here and there, so they can leave the city. But then you go into the Deke Xavier meat grinder, and that meat grinder was quite deadly, Seven, at the end of that match.
It really was. I was hoping that we would get a better performance out of some of the other squads that we were talking about earlier in regards to the bottom 5. D+, I mean, ends up with just 1 point. They end up in Longwood and just getting attacked from everybody. And we got to give props to the mayhem that was happening in Longwood between a lot of the teams. And before I even go into that, Perigin, congratulations on the MVP. Woo! But going back to Longwood, there was just so many teams going for that fight. We saw Alpha 7 being able to third party a fight there between D+ and some of the other squads. And then an aggressive team that I was happy to see, R8. R8 decides to push the action, and then they get put back on their heels because it was none other than Team Flash going after them. But we'll continue on because guess what? We have a new first place team, and it's none other than DX.
Holy, Deke Xavier, let's go from Vietnam. Not only that, sure, they got 2 chicken dinners. 29 placement points over the course of 4 matches is ludicrous. These guys are on fire.
Unbelievable. More placement points than 6th place combined total points, right?
Okay.
That is unbelievable consistency. That is it for Erangel, though, right? We're going to go into Miramar next, okay, guys? We talked about it at the start of the show, all right? A possible big hot drop situation, all right? Break it down. What do you guys feel about it?
You got to tell me which teams. Oh, you're talking about Rangnam versus Vampire. There you go, Hot Jukes. Before we go into that one, top 4 players, no surprise, Bose from Team Flash, as I was mentioning earlier, and then Amori once again.
New star from Mina?
Yeah.
Yes.
You had Ida, Marth, and now Amori added to the list. And Cage actually ended up with 4 Ilums.
You know what? I want to say, as in retrospective, looking at the entirety of 2024, it's been, 2025, not 25. Yeah, behind. It's been really the rise of so many good, strong individual players, right? This feels like the true new gen of PUBG Mobile Esport, which gets me very, very excited for things going on. But yeah, and also QXZ, right? Talking about Hyunbin, you already said, right, Seven. Here, QXZ. Actually, I love that fight versus Yol.
Yes.
He fights Yol in that 1v1, but he doesn't commit so hard to the point where even if Yol gets that elimination, he's going to go confirm the rest of the team. He buys just enough time to get the full reset. I love when players are just knowing, I want to fight him. I need to play slow, so I give my team a better chance to survive and make it later on in the game.
The tactical play, not even if he was just waiting for his team to get the full reset, just the tactical awareness for him to know that Seoul more than likely was going to be waiting on the stairs and he was going to be put at a TPP disadvantage, and you don't want to end up going for that one. But going back to your point, Hajux, as we will be moving on towards Miramar, Regnum versus Vampire, especially with what we saw out of that game. Regnum now finally waking up, right? Securing a good performance here in this last match. Finally, is that really something you want to move to after a good performance, Max? Do you really want to move into a hot drop in Picado?
Well, if it was a hot drop on D plus Kia, I'd be like, hell yeah. But they don't have a great time fighting other teams that are not D plus Kia, so you know what? Maybe give it up. You know, we do know there's a little bit of drama, a little bit of friction between these two teams, you know, talking behind the scenes. But Picado itself, it's a good city, it's a good area. I want to see one of these two teams, and you know what? I don't care which one it is. Going to the trash loot to the west. It's such a good position, good cast boards, similar rotation path to what Picado provides. If they just go for it, clear to say, Seven, I think we agree, it's an ego thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Let's be fair here. I give it 1 game. I give it 1 game, and then after that, I don't want to see any hot drops. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the biggest tournament of the entire year, right?
Yep.
You can literally ruin your entire chances. The prize pool jumps so significantly each place as we go down. Risking it a hot drop is wild. So, yeah, maybe we see one happen and they get it away. Or, I mean, Random Car has been pretty consistent.
For the memes.
Yeah.
The thing is, you have Vampire right now 25 points away from first place. You have Rangnam as well, currently 18 points behind. Do you really just want to throw a match? And throw a match in an aspect of, even if you win the fight, right, you end up getting, what, possibly 4 eliminations?
Yeah.
But then you're going to be hindering yourself for the later of the round, for the rest of the match.
It's not even that, because of course you're going to say, oh, you're hurting yourself in those fights, because if you lose a single player, your chances of a win go down drastically. But also, when Deke Xavier being so consistent, you give them an opportunity to keep on increasing their lead every single game. And they have been, in the past, historically, very good on Miramar. We'll see if Blank agrees this time. But I'm telling you, Miramar is one of their main battlegrounds to get points on.
And I got a chance to talk to Sir Tanny before that match too. He was saying he's liking the uptrend that the team is currently on. Sir Tanny, I'm pretty sure you're watching this one. If you're not, just in case, continue on the uptrend. Let's see if that hot drop is going to happen or not.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of uptrend, I want to talk about a little bit more about that last game, right? Flash, right? They got 8 eliminations in this game. So they put up sub points, but what do you think about their performance as far, 7?
Their performance, I enjoy when they were being the aggressors towards R8, and then it flipped around back to what I was saying in the previous match, which when this team has to defend, they're just not able to react quite well on it. R8 was able to fully overpower. That's why I was giving props to R8. R8 once again continues with the eliminations, finishes that match with 8 elims. But for Team Flash, if you're going to be the aggressors, you're going to have to commit. It came down to R8 just clutching up.
Yeah, I think Flash played it very well up to the point where they were clashing directly with R8. And I think it's not an issue of the fight was taken poorly. They were very indecisive because they were thinking, Circle's not going to go longward. Do we maybe go into Deke Xavier's position? Do we fully command clear R8 and then move? They're thinking too much about it. Sometimes commit to a play, even if it's not the best and most optimal play, commit to as a full squad, you might have a higher chance of just coming out on top and maybe making it to the later stage.
That's one of those chances when the first time at grand finals, right? You're having those little jitters. Okay, now maybe you end up doubting yourself here and there. Maybe they'll be able to lock it in here in the final 2 matches if they want.
I mean, it makes sense, though. I mean, especially after that Aaron Gale we saw before this one. You know, they had that hospital. They were splitting it with police station. And it's one of those situations where you kind of get a little greedy, right? Because you have so much real estate. You want to cover every angle. But I think you're right, Seven, right? You just got to commit to one play, right? Commit to one spot and make it happen. As we go into Miramar, we have that hot drop happening, right? What else are your expectations going into Miramar, Max?
I mean, when I think Miramar, internationally, the team that comes to mind for me is Alpha 7, but that was old Alpha 7.
Yep.
With Guizao, Obscure. How is that going to be working out possibly with a new roster? I'm very intrigued to see how they're going to perform on this one.
I mean, if you're going to talk about Alpha 7, earlier we were talking about DX, how much they love those placement points, how they've been able to get those 2 chicken dinners today. Alpha 7 right now, in regards to points, they're only sitting with 5 placement points. I want to see Alpha 7 being able to get themselves in a top 5 situation.
And you know what? D plus Kia, even if we don't get an island finish to the east, please, we need to see points on board. Seeing a team at the bottom like D plus Kia, they're currently, again, the reigning champions, completely unexpected. D plus Kia, we know what you guys can bring to the table. The team is so strong, but right now they just haven't had that opportunity to show it.
D plus Kia, if you end up fighting Regnum Karya, make sure you win that fight. If not, you're going to end up still be in 16th place after this match.
Hot drop Picardo with Vampire and Regnum.
Don't do that. Do
Do
not
it.
do that.
Yeah, stop
Actually, no, don't do it.
D plus Kia, is it time for you to wake up?
Yes.
We are going into Miramar. Will they make it happen? John, Blake, what do you think?
Well, I think, you know, it's always time for a chicken dinner, you know, no matter what. No matter what, it is time to get stuck in to Miramar. And as the desk alluded to there, or well, kind of spelled out, Picardo could be troublesome here. We hate Picardo hot drops. Maybe we'll see another one in the year 2025. I don't want it, but it might be on the cards. We'll have to wait and see. Is the team going to back off from the angle?
I mean, especially here on in PMGC, right? Grand finals. Do you really want to be hot dropping? It's a little silly, but it is still a potential. The D plus, like the boys were saying, we can't keep saying this over and over, but it's not even just D plus. It feels like it's every reigning champion and defending champion is just horrendous the next year.
I think the only exception, Silence.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think he's had his rough spots, as is every player, but I do think that the only exception is Silas. You could maybe think back towards.
I think you could say Alpha 7.
I think you
but
could
they're not the rating champion.
I think you could think back towards maybe King, going back-to-back years on Nova. I think that's the only other time, but even then,
it was a very different game back then.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely agree. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Alpha 7. I mean, they got their PMWC win.
Yeah,
and then
it was never made after
and then
that.
Nothing else happened after that.
Yeah, but before that, they were very, very much second place team, which was cool. So although they weren't defending, they were at least getting close each time.
Defending that second place, mightily.
Very much so. We don't want to
Tough time.
win.
Oh, there we go. We're on board. Hey, we're in Picado, blank. And Regnum, they're running scared from the vampires.
Where did Regnum Kaya go? So they did drop to the west because not only is vampires in Picado, so is Ulf on the northern side. Yeah, I think this is fair for Regnum Kaya. Very efficient drop to go for. Still works out just fine. I think this is a drop spot that Max was even speculating about in terms of getting over towards the western buildings, getting the good vehicle spawns as well. So I think things work out just okay for Regnum Kaya. And for Vampire, they get to play Picado. It's not as explosive as we would have liked it to be, John.
Well,
But at least we aren't having to deal with watching two teams sit around in apartments.
until minute 16. And then die to the blue zone.
Yeah, because the problem with that is that observers get like brain rot, I think, when we have Picado hot drops. And that,
Oh, yeah.
the brain rot really bleeds in.
Poser! He's invisible. He is the bush. Poser has become bush. Look at him.
I've got to fully finish my point there because
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
want to just say the observers have got brain rot because they don't.
Well, they did just then.
It's just it's Picado hot drops where we
6-7, am I right, observers?
That's right. That's right. Where the observers will
Skippity
just
toilet.
keep coming back to the Picado apartments. It's like, please, we don't see Picado apartments anymore. There's been so many great fights that you've been catching, but you just keep coming back to this, and we want to just leave it alone.
No, it is true. It is absolutely true. It's such a horrible result for everybody if you stick to your guns on that Picado hot drop. You can see it once at the start of a tournament, and then someone has to move. Someone has to move, and the issue is ego gets in the way a lot of the time on that one. So it's good to see that teams have figured it out, and at the moment, the vampires, the alpha of the pack, Kaya, tail between their legs, off to the west side.
I don't think Vampire's done terribly, honestly. I'm fairly impressed with Vampire, all things considered. I think this is a good result. We have seen worse results from teams coming into PMGC as an invite in the past. But again, it sort of depends on where we end up after match 6 for Vampire. And even more so after match 6 for tomorrow. Because there's a big chance that Vampire drop down towards 16th place tomorrow because we haven't fully proven them just yet.
Yes. It is something you do need to. I mean, you to an extent you need to prove yourself. I mean, getting here alone is already proof enough, I think, in terms of making sure that you're known, your name is firmly in the history books. But if you want to go that full distance, especially here at such an historic event here at PUBG United, 2025 being a brilliant collaboration coming on through. See if our teams can find that internal collaboration within their teammates. As Alter Ego looking to play towards the center of the circle. A lot of the south side of this circle blank is occupied right now, and very little of the north at the moment. We're coming up to 6th or 7th minute on that north side. Hey, that one just happened.
You got to stop this.
I straight up didn't even expect that one.
You really have to cease.
Okay.
It's becoming an issue.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to avoid those 2 numbers for the remainder of the tournament.
Which numbers?
Thank you. Very well done. Great answer. But you are right. A lot of teams down towards the south side purely because the playing path was so southern and on the horizontal cross. We've had a lot of those. They're not fun to play. And I think if you've listened to any of my commentary over PMGC, you'll know that I dislike that playing path. The amount of times we've seen it is criminal for a lot of our teams. D+ heading over towards El Azahar, so starting usually over towards Impala. They're going to get themselves clean and clear over towards the eastern edge, which is great news for them. Vampire also swung past Picado towards Hacienda. That did mean that they got ahead of Regnum Kaya.
A little bit of a ahead of the curve there, but Regnum Kaya going to swing low on the rotate here underneath King, who backs off. Not really going to find shots as well from the high ground. Yeah, Thunder Talk. Not really going to have an impact on this Regnum Kaya rotation from here on out as they divert further north. Alter Ego fairly split around this position. I think this could be a very dangerous spot. It's definitely getting more and more dangerous as Silas hops to the passenger seat, doesn't go for the spray down. Rosemary going past all 4 of Regnum Kaya's players and getting out alive is a wild achievement here. And Rosemary is completely diverged from the rest of his team, which I think is what you're going to talk about right now.
No, actually, what I was going to talk about is that I think for Regnum Kaya, this is a fine play to go for because they want to confirm over towards Longhouse. And I think that if you see a play like this heading up the road, you're worried the rest of the team is heading towards Longhouse before you. Alpha 7 get themselves first blood over towards Ulf. Great news for them as they're crossing in from the western side. They clear out their competitors over towards that east edge, which is great. Makes their rotation a little bit easier. But for Regnum Kaya, as a distraction play for Alter Ego, that would make sense for Rosemary to make that play to drag Regnum Kaya away from Longhouse so they can take it and backfill them. So I think Regnum Kaya just kind of ignoring them there and securing that position is the right play.
Still, though, driving past, like, bumper to bumper, wheel to wheel with Regnum Kaya is so dangerous.
Absolutely, but it's 4 vehicles. So you know that if they want to take shots, they have to switch seats, which is also really hard to hit when a car's going straight past you.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
The closer you are, the faster you have to turn, and that makes it really tough. I suppose. Either way, I'm definitely not doing it. That's not my job.
No, it's scary.
Ooh, big northeast shift going up to the north of Elizabeth. That is scary.
Yeah, Alter Ego now has eyes on down towards Regnum Kaya, and they know they got to move because they're closest towards the northeast edge, other than maybe D+ and E Arena. So Regnum Kaya wants to leave, but Alter Ego could be horrible here and just hold them out.
I don't think Alter Ego do want to stay there because they know they can't hold this split with all the teams going to be approaching from that southwest side. We speak about finding a vehicle. Or to be fair, it wasn't at full speed, but we were just talking about vehicles.
And he was driving away from him, so it made it easier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, Alter Ego know that they can't hold that split on the south side with the number of teams that were playing on the south. That ground is going to get covered time and time again, so they have to go up further north. Playing 3 here on the gas station out west of El Azahar. I don't think that's terrible. Alter Ego, though, they may lose 1 to Regnum Kaya either way. Silas will need a little bit of a pick-me-up, though, and that could slow them down, maybe give the rest of Alter Ego an opportunity, but are they going to want to leave their current spot? Looks like they do.
There's a position, though, to play, and again, for Wild, this is not leaving, this is scouting. And make sure you see as much as possible around you because you don't have a lot of sight lines whilst you're in that ditch. So you need to maintain vision, right? And so they maintain vision whilst getting the res off. Smart play from Regnum. I like that Alter Ego tried to get a little bit aggressive with it. Weren't successful, though. They did try and hold them out. But now there's more teams. Chips from D+. Oh, God, these teams hate each other so much.
Well, yeah, it's a rivalry. Old blood, new mutiny, you know the story. Alter Ego looking for the roll-up. They've lost Snape, but Mormon not able to find a knock on the approach. Doesn't do the full Monty on the damage. And Krypton now with a chance to nade him out of position. The first aid saves Mormon's life there. Able to keep him ticking over just about. Can look to regroup or just fade away because at the moment, Alter Ego, they're not going to be able to get up to crash on towards him. They do not have the power on their roster right now, with Snake taken out of the mix and E-Arena with that sideswipe angle on Turney K.
So E-Arena able to get on that north side is good for them. And at 20 points, the Thai team is doing quite well. So although we have the invite team from Thailand in Vampire, I think E-Arena's creating a good showing for this country. Really, really nice to see. DRX had a couple of pot shots over towards AJ, but Thunder Talk do need to get out of dodge. The Thunder has been relatively quiet today. Most of the loudness is coming through from this F249 from QXZ.
QXZ spray down towards King. Not quite connecting, but I mean, it is at range on a moving target. It's always tough. Next circle about to pop in just 2 seconds. Where's it going to go? Up north again. Oh, it's DX Xavier in the middle. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. That's actually fine. That's actually fine.
Well, I think at this point, we need to admit to ourselves that maybe, just maybe, DX Xavier has some killer rotates.
Okay.
They do need to regroup one another because we have Parajin as well as Nate, as you can see in the back line here, looking to regroup on top of the rest of the squad who got there fairly quickly. Wow, that's a lot of airtime. That is a lot of airtime. That's plus 800, bonus on the ×2, 1600. Fantastic stuff. Well done.
Brilliant. No notes. Fantastic.
Yeah, no,
Just don't
absolutely.
crash into, actually no, one note, don't crash into the tractor at the end. Regnum Kaya move on up towards the center as well. They move first out of pretty much everybody here. Kara stretching out on their north side. Arena on the west didn't want to move. A lot of the teams in that area did not want to move, which is why they were the team to move first. But APG are going to try and fill in where Regnum Kaya have left that void, have left that little vacuum. Silas alone on an off angle, but they do have 4 players alive, so back up very easy to marshal that way.
Lemon over towards Kara. Silas down to Reefus. Goodness me. Bit of an unfortunate loss there, Silas, on a very wide split. Pulling a dock, to which then Doc pulls a second dock. Pulls the original dock, and Silas replicates the dock. Maybe?
Hits him with the, oh yeah?
Oh yeah, let me try.
Yeah, what about if I do it though, huh? What are you going to do then? The answer apparently is get flushed. It's not fun for Silas. But playing on a 3, they're fairly central. They do still have legs into this match. Team Flash did get a little bit high fear in the last game, and with Regnum Kaya losing a player, well, it's only fair that D+ lose 1 too. That point doesn't go to them though. It will go over towards Team Flash.
D+ still rotating on the south side right now. Far away from a lot of squads. Thunder Talk basically controlling the majority of the eastern edge alongside with DRX. But DRX has been a bit of a wild card today. A little bit of a dangerous team to be running into. Full of thorns and spines. Not a team you want to be getting close amongst the circle with. There is this very much defining horrid landscape over on the western side of this circle. Very rocky, a lot of defilades available. Teams could be hitting there quite nicely as APG rocks on top of Regnum Kaya, and it is a bloodbath.
All right, we're back to league stage APG. Nice to know. Nice to know indeed. And a nade, and another spray. It's Kara chiming in as well, trying to take a chunk out of them. Not going to leave him alone here now. Just the one player, and he's stuck in a ditch. Will go up in smoke as Ed Wolf to be the longest lasting, but it is not going to be a legacy to remember for them. Not this time around. And that will be Regnum Kaya dusted for their first Miramar. Didn't hot drop though, so that's good.
No, they did not. And it is Vampire who outlast them down on the southwest side. Very, very interesting circle. DX Xavier basically want the Eastern Shift. If they get that, they put them in really good stead with the double split they've got going on right now, holding both really strong compounds. Other teams don't really want to full commit over there as well because unlike some areas of the map, both these splits can quite easily cover one another with the open space that surrounds this area too, which is very, very cool to see.
Maintain that space. I mean, it's such an important position for APG that will be necessary. The fact that they held that as a 3-1 on Regnum Kaya, I mean, that's their vulnerability, right? And that's why they couldn't quite condense that. Unfortunate. Ulf losing 1 to that split in the middle. That's all the way up to the north side. Shouldn't be too dangerous for them. It's fairly likely, I think, that they are going to be able to get that res. It's just a question of when and what impacts they're going to have, because the Mad Bull's pushing in on the north side makes the position for Ulf a lot less tenable.
Yeah, man. It's a bit tough for Ulf now. I think for Ulf, maybe coming to a close soon. When 3 players left alive now, and it's a slight issue of playing around this terrain with Mad Bulls also starting to sink their teeth in. Alpha 7, though. I still rate their chances on Miramar. I think Revo is like one of the key factors, as well as Carrillo, to a Miramar game for this team. You add Obscure as well as Guizhou into the mix. I don't think it matters too much. I think that still works regardless. APG's really on a tear this game, though, aren't they, huh?
I mean, they've either got it or they don't, right? We thought it was day to day. That change around seems like it's matched the match, but CS now with a challenge. They took down one of D+ earlier on, and now they've got a couple more bogeys on the radar. Apparently, just about dodging around that one on the buggy. CS is so low, has to step back with the smoke blooming. It's not going to be enough to find the cover. Tops does connect though onto Favian, which is going to give them a little bit more breathing room. Win hopping through that vehicle, dropping another smoke. Osel trying to marshal his way on into the sidelines. And APG chime in with a third party down towards the off angle for Team Flash. That's going to hopefully, if you're a D+ fan, make it a little bit easier. But R8 are clashing over on the western end with, well, Alter Ego off in the distance, but it's E-Arena on the plate right now. As the nades start to fly, both teams looking to move eastwards, but neither able to make it without the other going down first.
No, he's been sent to the smoke there, not finding quite as much value as R8 might have hoped. They're going to keep pushing in here. I think for R8, you want to get yourself back up to speed, but they're just going to crash it. Okay, I love this from R8. Very dangerous, though.
Oh, they don't love it. They're hating it more and more by the second. Another knock sent over towards to Ida, and that's from Alpha 7. Amori now, the last to stand. Does D+ Kia go down in the meantime? Only one Elim. Not a great start to their tournaments. Their first day not going well. E-Arena now swelling over the top. Alpha 7 marching forwards as well to third party. 3 players on E-Arena, but they're busted down to 2 as then C2 does fall to a nade. Alpha 7 really putting the crunch on this with another nade, finding its mark over towards Tony K. Now just Mormon left standing as they keep continuing forwards. Guizao moves on in, steps in for the fight, gets the spray down. E-Arena pushed aside. Rosemary's in this fight somehow. Okay, he's here from Alter Ego as Amori still down the hill and across the way, looking to try and stay alive to fight another day.
Yeah, smart moves right now from Alter Ego, honestly, with them setting themselves a little bit further ahead of this. They set up an outpost down towards that southwest side too, so very lovely stuff. And honestly, for Roseberry with the FAMAS, maybe just walk this off slightly. But I will say for Amori, quite amusing watching his teammates crash into that building and then just noping out.
They got absolutely shredded.
He was like, yeah, I'm not following that.
I'm not.
That seems like a bad play to me.
That's gone really badly, guys.
Yeah,
I did not.
I know
like
we're
that.
meant to do bad plays together, but in this instance, I think I'm going to live.
We're all in it. No, we're not. I'm leaving. He is straight out of there, but hopefully surviving. I don't know if Alpha 7 know he's there either. And in stage 5, you can survive in this blue for a little bit of time. Alpha 7 going to have to move. Vampire, they're moving in as well from the southwest edge. They've lost a player as APG still very much on the hunt this Miramar. Holding a little bit of a split. It's much closer than it was before. They know at this point, you do need to regroup. Amori, you need to get a move on now. He's got a vehicle, so he could very much get in on this one, but too many options in terms of places to go is the issue.
Yeah, he's going to be fast. I mean, he's already got to hit another first aid kit off the back of this one. Alter Ego's still hanging around here like a couple of sharks. DRX on the high ground. There's over towards that northeast side now. Thunder Talk were able to get towards the mound down on the south. It is Vampire finding those shots. Once again, that's a pretty long distance as well, honestly. But APG should hear those shots. Have a little bit of awareness down towards that side. APG currently trying to fight and climb up to where DX Xavier is currently playing. Great shot again over towards Alva.
Oh, I think Amori spotted Alva as well. That's going to draw Alter Ego's attention north. Maybe Amori can make it in. He's going to be so low, so close to the wire. Alter Ego getting taken apart in the meantime. Losing Alva on that off angle. Goes down, but a lovely step up from Rosemary. Looking pretty with it on the spray down towards Obscure, but Mate's over-focused. There's 2 players to your right. You need to be looking over the ridgeline. The nade going to send him packing, but Rosemary, how do you get away with that? That was way over peaking on the angle. Way too much commitment on time, but he's just out of there.
Hey, man, he knew exactly how much damage he could take. That's all that happened. Top, though, finds Amori. He made his way in. A valiant attempt from him, but not quite fully finding the catch there right at the end. But APG has had a real swivel on them this game.
You just never know with that team. Krypton getting naded out of position, finally going down. Had to be one of them first, didn't it?
Yeah, I'd be annoyed if I was Krypton. You know, they're trying to nade out Rosemary. They found his position by accident.
Unfortunate stuff. Rosemary still alive and kicking, though. For Alter Ego, he's in the zone as well, so could have an impact onto Alpha 7, who are playing as 3. Vampire facing them down as well on the hillside. closer to Xiol from APG, who's flexing out onto this fight. Wide flex out from this fight. Tony K looking to try and hold the off angle against it. Alpha 7 not really wanting to push in on it.
I think they're concerned about wraps, right? Because, yeah, for this exact reason. As soon as they start taking shots, a team is going to want to try and wrap on this and get that ground so they can start moving in from that eastern side. Where Alpha 7 is right now, it's a straight shot over towards the east, which is their landing point, right? But if a team from the south or the north can pick that off Alpha 7, ooh, they get themselves a real good spot in the circle to work with.
Say, looking to take the fight towards the east side. Kraken takes them really heavily down, though. The off angle keeps them safe, but on the north side, the blue zone's moving forwards. They don't have a lot of time to pick these reses back up. For DRX, this is really, really dire. But I think they're going to be able to tag on at least one for the res. We'll see if they can get all four, but Vampire now trying to challenge the stronghold that APG have held in the middle for such a long time. Tony K cannot stand the heat, but instead steps into the fire. That's not where you want to be when things are getting hot. Tony K goes down, steps on towards it. Those smokes not going to be lasting too much longer. Vampire's position will be given away fairly shortly. APG take a knock. Refus is down and Top's very low.
At least Doc's able to find a shot off towards the side there, able to take down Revo from Alpha 7. Two big dogs in the arena taking shots to one another right now, both equally accurate, but Alpha 7's way more exposed.
This is really nasty stuff. And all the while, DXavier, big chilling in the circle blank. They have had a great time this game again. We're going to see a third today. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Vampire losing another. They are now down on one player. They haven't got any elims yet either. APG, though, yeah, they're going to get the full reset here. Miaula cannot really feasibly, maybe, get an aid in. No, he's not going to go for it.
Squeeze out. Takes a couple of hits there. Doc currently doesn't even have a vest, by the way. He's been taking punches to the chest, left, right, and center this game. Still continuing on. Definitely bruised, though. You know, like with the nade over the top. Doc's trying to ascertain the position. And top punch.
That was a swift execution there by Top. Refus knocked again. The angle, and that bleed out should be coming through fairly fast. Thunder Talk as well. They're on 6 elims at the moment, Blank. They've been quietly racking up these points. Now DXavier finally looking to leave. They flex out all the way south. And try and push into the hills, but they are being backed off fairly forcefully as Paragen's very, very low. The backline by Lambor looking to try and hide on that high ground, and DRX are going to assist on this as well. But Paragen, he's getting taken down. He is going to get flinked away. DXavier have to turn straight back to where they came from.
600 damage in the game for Doc. It's starting to be a real good one here. And it does. We're heading in the direction of a Doc MVP. Refus, though, finding Guizhou now. You got to admit, though, that for...
Oh, come on,
my God. Great save. Great save. You got to admit, though, for Alpha 7, some of the shots they've been sending back over towards APG, really, really good. Really good shots. I think the Alpha 7 would have been down and out much, much earlier if it wasn't for the fact that they were really difficult to take down here. And every time APG wanted to peek them or anything like that, they were consistently taking big damage.
Alpha 7 able to step up, take a flush away from Thunder Talk, who were the ones to get the knock. APG are down with 11 eliminations. A really solid profit on their spot. I think that's a very, very good game for them. Not unhappy with that in the slightest. And again, a classy game played. Thunder Talk rolling in. The swap bleeding out. Alpha 7 do lose another player. With 4 players alive, Thunder Talk may have just come alive into this Miramar, sweeping around, slowly rack out these points. Alpha 7 fall before them. And now if DRX can get themselves back up to 4, maybe they can challenge, but you've also got DXavier across the road, needing to cross, though, to this northern side of things.
I mean, this game has been very much defined by Thunder Talk, DRX, Alpha 7, DXavier, as well as our
APG.
final players from APG. So many points on all of those squads. I think they were all reaching around about 8 to 11 elims. Fantastic to take a look at here. DRX very dry, but as is everyone else. The main sticking point is that DXavier has quite a few smokes to work with, but they lost a player earlier too. So maybe, just maybe, we're getting a Thunder Talk game.
looks like they've actually managed to move up into these foothills and take quite a lot of this circle. They get the next shift on top of them as well. It's a complete donut on this circle, dead center, and we're going to the center of that beyond. Xavier have got this. If they can hold, if they can stay alive, they've got the center circle position. If he froze everyone, they would be the team to win right now. You can guarantee that there is not a frozen finger in the house. They are already itching to pull that trigger. Kaiksei stays too long, and the king sends him packing.
Number 8 sent from Singh there in the back lines, looking for a little bit more damage. The Xavier Lambo is trying to find an off angle, but I'm not sure how much value he's finding from this eastern spot. He does have the high ground to work with it, but it's mainly Nate as well as Levi's getting the work done. Lovely nade over the top there. But Levi's will hit the deck as DRX is just venomous in this lobby, spitting poison wherever they look.
Xavier, though, wanting to put a third chicken dinner on the day today with DRX, I think they're going to ruin that. I don't think that you can survive Lambo with the auto shotty. Has all of the DRX players now bearing down upon him, has got the cover, has a Nick cooking, no steps out with a shotgun, and is immediately put down. QXE has been flushed out in the meantime, but now with just one player on the off angle, Xavier on Nate alone, Thundertalk may be back in control of this game.
Hyunbin with a crazy shot there. Instantaneous, no messing around. Very good stuff. Hyunbin definitely one of the players that we speak about most often when we're talking about South Korea. Really stepping up here for his team on DRX.
I think I caught that right. I think Xavier are on no elims right now. I think they're on 0 elims on this match. They've already got up into a 3rd place. Zone closing, dead center. He is going to have to move off the hillside. Deciding has him in his sights. He can't move without being known, is the issue. Those smokes that you were talking about earlier, they're now run through.
You have to chew through all of them just to get to this point in the game. And we're in zone 9, starting to close now. Xavier getting 3rd place. I think even that is a fairly successful result considering the day that Xavier has had. Should keep them in the top spot. I think APG's very close though, but we'll find out later with the desk. In the meantime, So Easy would love this point over towards Nate. He continues to push up, spots vision, and we'll find it. And we're into a 3 versus 4. Thundertalk, whose day has been lackluster, versus DRX, who are just getting started.
Nate over. Currently a little bit more central, I think, for DRX. This flat ground that sits between the two teams. No man's land right now, but is where the circle is very likely to end up. DRX trying to keep those off angles. No, Kaisei actually folding back in towards the divot. The fact that there are no nades on Thundertalk is so crucial here. Those 4 Molotovs need to be huge for them. Control that ground, control the approach, because the opening salvo for DRX, it's coming. Kaisei steps over, and Singh might be burnt away with this.
Just a little bit. We'll bear them a distance, though. That is the main thing. But no more nades for either team. Mano a mano, just the weapons in hand. 7-9s laying down the smoke, denying the entry, allowing Thundertalk to get closer towards the center of the circle. So Easy, maybe looking for a shot here. It's getting tough.
All of the players are still alive and looking fairly healthy. I think that's going to change soon, though, Blank. That smoke train has allowed DRX to keep this one going with a full flash.
What
the
a
full
stun!
white's out there. The stunner's on. The King goes down first. And Yunbin with a huge stand-up on the off angle. Looking for more.
Oh, my God!
DRX! How can you make that happen? From down beneath, they dare them. Step over that ridgeline. We've got you in our sights.
Thunder caught in a bottle. And the talk is in the Hyunbin. What a disastrous end there for them. Oh my days, DRX. Hyunbin was on a tear that match, and he wasn't about to let that highlight reel up.
A brilliant hold. The man chewed through 2 players there, and there was nothing that they could do about it. It seemed that lack of nades really, really horrible.